everyone, I am Mayflower Taberna from Just Me Jensen, Philippines. I'm so glad that you are here, and I pray that as you listen, your heart will be drawn closer to God. Today, I will be sharing to you a familiar story from Genesis 22, verse 2 to 18. This is about intentional obedience and really following the voice of God, especially during the season that we are in today. Let me read to you the passage from Genesis 22, verse 2 to 18. It says here, He said, Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains which I shall tell you. So Abraham rose early in the morning, saddled in his donkey, and took two of his young men with him, and his son Isaac. And he cut the wood for the burnt offering, and arose and went to the place of which God had told him. On the third day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place from afar. Then Abraham said to his young men, Stay here with the donkey, and I, the boy, will go over there and worship and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it on Isaac his son, and he took in his hand the fire and the knife. So they went, both of them together. And Isaac said to his father Abraham, My father. He said, Here I am, my son. He said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? Abraham said, God will provide for himself the lamb for a burnt offering, my son. So they went both of them together. When they came to the place of which God had told him, Abraham built the altar there and laid the wood in order and bound Isaac his son and laid him on the altar on the top of the wood. Then Abraham reached out his hand and took the knife and slaughtered his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. He said, Do not lay your hand on the boy or do anything to him. For now I know that you fear God, seeing you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him was a ram, and caught a ticket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up as a burnt offering instead of his son. So Abraham called the name of the place, The Lord will provide. As it is said to this day, On the mount of the Lord it shall be provided. And the angel of the Lord called to Abraham a second time from heaven, and said, By myself I have sworn, declares the Lord, because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you. I will surely multiply your offspring as the stars of heaven and as the sand that is on the seashore. And your offspring shall possess the gate of his enemies, and in your offspring shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because you have obeyed my voice. While I was reflecting on this passage, I felt two strong things that the Lord has impressed. First, to love him with all that we are. This is really about deep communion with God. We can really see this in the life of Abraham, that when we love the Lord above everything, his voice becomes our compass. Even in times that are so painful or hurtful, even on our seasons that doesn't make sense. Abraham doesn't follow God blindly, but he followed the Lord because he knew God. He had history with God. He had walked with God for a long time before that moment, and that long time, that long journey in communion with God, the praying, the listening, and obeying God step by step has built a firm relationship where God's voice became familiar and trusted. So when God asked him to do something that is painful and confusing, Abraham could still say yes, because his knowledge about God is deeper than the pressure of the situation. He knew God's character more than he feared the command. And that's what happens when we stay close to God. The more we know him, the more we could trust him, even in impossible moments. Number 2, God impressed me that obedience is non-negotiable. We should follow him with a clear mind and a right heart, because real obedience comes from knowing the one who commands. And we see this clearly in the life of Abraham too. Abraham didn't hesitate. He didn't bargain. He woke up early the next morning to obey, and that is what we call intentional obedience. That is the obedience that comes from our deep trust and our deep communion with the Lord. Abraham didn't follow out of fear. He followed out of his trust and his love for the Lord. He knew that God is faithful. He knew that God is faithful to his promises. He is so kind. And he knew that God will not act out of cruelty. So Abraham's obedience wasn't force. It flows from revelations. It flows from his relationship with the Lord. It flowed from knowing who God is. And because Abraham followed God and obeyed God with the right heart and a steady mind, God did something powerful on that very mountain. God provided, God affirmed him, and God blessed him beyond measure. Today, there's so much noise of this world, from news, from all the opinions of people, from fear, confusion, and pressure. And when life gets hard, our emotions become louder than God's instruction. But as we look into the life of Abraham, we could really see that if our knowledge about God is greater than our heavy circumstances, we are able to navigate the life that we're living on. Yes, of course, maybe Abraham felt resistance, he was scared or maybe confused at time, but because he knew God at that very moment, it doesn't matter. What matters to him is to obey the Lord because he knew God, of course. And we could really also see this in the life of Jesus, that he obeyed the Father even though the world is saying stop, or maybe the circumstances doesn't make sense, but he continues to say that the will of the Father shall be done and not his. Without a close relationship with God, it becomes easy for us to get confused, to be shaken, and to be misled. That is why a deep communion with God is not optional right now, especially during these end times. We need to know Him, not just to know about Him, but to also be discerning, to be familiar with His voice, His ways, and His commands. Because the deeper our knowledge of God, the more we become stronger. The more we are connected with Him, the more we overcome obstacles after obstacles. And the more we are close to Him, the faster we recover. This is how we can preserve our faith during the season, not by our own strength, but staying connected to the source. During this very season as well, our priority is not only about our physical survival, but also our spiritual growth. Let's make sure that our walk with Jesus is alive, it is consistent, it is growing, that even it is hard, it is painful, we will continue to do so for the glory of His name. Because if we truly know who God is, His faithfulness, His goodness, His kindness, His wisdom, we could trust that He will never leave us nor forsake us, and His plans are for our good. And just like what Abraham has experienced at that very mountain, God will always provide for us. Thank you for listening, and I pray that we all grow in our communion with the Lord, especially during this crisis. May our faith stand firm. May our obedience will be intentional, and also may our relationship with God may be our greatest strength, especially during the season. So God bless everyone and see you soon. Shalom.